Good morning, everyone. It's John. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report, and not too much to bring you today, but we'll talk a little bit about what happened yesterday with the hearings with Mr. Herr that didn't probably go real well for Joe Biden, I'd say, based on all of the clamor from the cheap seats, which were occupied by Adam Schiff, as well as Jerry Nadler and Raskin. They tried their damnedest to blame Trump and get Trump's name smudged again in hearings that have nothing to do with anything but, at this particular juncture, from a outlook from the Democratic Party is interference in elections. And if you don't see that as well as we have seen that here, you need to take a second look at what happened there. Joe gets a pass anyway. They tried to go after her and say that it was his Republican outlook that caused this bad report, showing that Joe Biden may be suffering from memory loss, cognitive abilities, and things of that nature, which may or may not be true. We don't know. I'm not a doctor and I can't tell you, but I've read and seen enough to make up my own mind that he's not of sound mind at this particular juncture. Either that or he's the most clever man that ever walked the earth. Anyway, reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean, where they said he's either the worst pirate in the world or actually the most brilliant. So Captain Joe Sparrow is still in charge. I watched a little this morning of some hearings with Mayorkas again, and this guy needs to be put out of his office. He continues to make up and lie to these committees, bold-faced, telling them that the border is secure and that no other methods can be used to stop the flow of what's coming through this border now. We've had a lot go through there for quite a while now. So that said, we'll move on to weather. Here is wonderful. I'm going to look forward to getting out. I'm going to have lunch with my daughter today, and I've got two very close friends died a day apart from each other, both naval aviators and very close friends of mine. And I'm going to have to make some arrangements to get to both of these funeral arrangements in the next day or two. So it's kind of a sad day for me because both these gentlemen were just that, very, very gentlemen. Anyway, enough said about that. And we'll go on and look at, as I said, the weather here is nice today. I was hoping to get some more farm work done, but I have other obligations today that I have to take care of. But I was listening last night to Patera over at Appalachian Homestead, and she is very concerned about her fellow individuals not being prepared enough for what's coming down the pike. She seems to think that that we need to all be prepared. We all need to have foodstuff set aside and be prepared for the worst. Be kind to each other and help each other out where you can. And, of course, pray for each other. I tell you this every day. So hats off to her for her last couple of talks that she has given here on YouTube And thank you, Patera, for what you do as far as training people to be self-sufficient and self-caring. And don't forget when you start putting these things together that you also need to put in some things such as antibiotics, antiseptics, and things of that nature. Because if we do get our supply chains cut off, it's going to be a problem because most of our antibiotics and important drugs for things that people take on a daily basis are coming out of India and China, and that's not a good situation if the supply chains get closed down because of a war or a skirmish or anything of that nature. We need to have these things on hand, and that includes aspirin and pain relievers and things of that nature that you may need to stock up some with your foodstuffs and your water as you start to fill your jugs and save your water, or buy in your water if you like bottled water, but you have to have it to survive. So make sure you have a good stock of these things on hand just in case something does happen that was unexpected, and you'll all be prepared for that. Upcoming, we're looking to. I sure would like to sit down with Patera and have an interview with her because she makes a whole lot of sense, and she's a good person with a good heart. And if you haven't been to her channel, you need to do that. And that's Appalachian Homestead. And you'll learn things that you need to know, if nothing else, by tuning in there. We try to bring you what's important in preparedness, and try to break down what's really happening around us. But we all need to start to watch more of what's going on. It's a dangerous place out there alone. So if you're out and about, you need to have a protective friend with you, as well as being ever vigilant of what's going on around you, especially in parking lots today, because there's so many scams. They're putting notes under your window, so when you get in your car and you see it, you want to get back out, but now they have your keys, all the goods you just purchased, and your car. Because once you step out of that car, you belong to them. So get it directly in your car, lock the doors, and if there's something on the windshield, please leave that parking lot and pull over somewhere else and take it off the window, but don't do it in that particular space of time, because that's when you become most vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a good thing, and they spot it. And these people, in some cases, are career criminals, and in other cases are drug-addled or just in need of things. It's like parking lots have become the place. And the story around here, you can go to a Food City parking lot and be approached by 2 or 3 individuals. I just need gas to get home. Well, sometimes that's true. It could be true. But the fact is, you can't trust anymore from strangers with stories. Unfortunately, that's become the case. But be protective of yourself, be protective of your families, and be ever vigilant of your surroundings and what's going on. The bump and run thing where you have a car in front of you and the car in the back of you taps you to get out of your car, and then the guy in the front car comes back and, with a friend and hijacks your car. These things are going on right now throughout the country, and no one is immune from this, because we have characters that are running around doing these things that we don't know if they're part of this immigrant invasion or not, but we have to be careful. We have to watch our money. We have to make sure that you have some, if you can, have some gold or silver or barter material to have on hand. You need to also stockpile some cash if you can. If you have a lot in the bank, reduce the amount that's vulnerable in the bank and get it, in a safe place at your domicile or credit union, whatever. But you're going to have cash on hand. I hate this doomsday stuff. I hate to come to you all on a daily basis with all bad news, but that's all we get anymore. And then we have a Congress and all these committees that are sitting there grilling this person and that person, but nothing comes of it. They're taking a vote today on whether or not they're going to force TikTok, China, to sell TikTok, or they're going to ban it here. I don't know what's going to happen to a lot of the young people that live on TikTok every day. Some of it nonsensical, some of it good. I don't use TikTok. I refuse to get it because I learned early on that TikTok, and you need to know this, is run by the Chinese government, and they're using it to gather information from your computers, from your phones, and from your social media networks by the use of TikTok. It's a given. It's a fact. And this is what's worrying people today. What worries me is not so much about TikTok. As I said, I don't use it. And I don't use it because I have been a victim of fraud and identity theft, and I don't want any more of that. So I am very careful to what apps I open, what emails I open, and messaging through Meta and some of these platforms. There are so many phonies that it's hard to believe that they are who they say they are. And then you have the bot-driven people that are on these social media platforms that are not real people. They're bots that are contacting you. And when you get into conversations with these people, whether it's on Messenger or what's the other one, WhatsApp, people asking you to join some chat room, this is all bad. Don't do it. Inform your children not to be doing this. Not a good thing. And stay ever vigilant on what your children are tuning into on Meta or Rumble or any of these places. They're all vulnerable to it. X as well. There's no one watching the store on most of these platforms. It's all algorithm driven to achieve certain information, to market things to you. And then now you have the fraudsters using it as real people to steal from you. So be careful. Don't open emails that you don't know who they're from. You haven't won anything. You didn't get $7,500 in your Cash App account. So don't open those, because once you open them, they're in your computer or they're in your iPad or your phone. So be very vigilant on these things and be careful. Make sure that you have enough on hand to get you through at least 6 months. If you can, do 2 years. But you must be prepared because the unprepared are going to come for what you have. And in some cases, you need to help people. So have enough on hand to help your neighbor. It's Wednesday, hump day. We're almost halfway through the week. So go out and enjoy some fresh air. If you're working, sorry you can't get outside. Maybe you're lucky enough to be one of those people that do work outside, and you can enjoy some of this nice warm weather while it lasts, because I'm told that next week here in East Tennessee it's going to get cold again. That worries me a little bit, because I noticed that the trees are budding, all the crocuses are up, the irises are blooming, or coming up anyway, they're green, and a good hard frost could hurt these particular crops. I myself have apple orchards here, and I worry that they'll get bit. They have not started to bud yet, so I'm hoping we can get by that. As I told you in past programs on this channel, think about getting in a vegetable garden. If you don't have a lot of room, or you live in an apartment complex, you can go out and get a small raised bed garden at Home Depot, Lowe's, or any of these farm stores that are around. They all have these kits that you can put together very easily, not made by IKEA, so you don't need a Swede to help you with that. You can go out and build this thing with a simple hammer and a screwdriver in most cases. But it will allow you to have some vegetables growing that you can, have some fresh tomatoes and things. But think about the crops that you want to put in, what you can, what you can keep, and make sure that you have some fresh canned things on the shelf. If you can't do this, there are a lot of people that are canners now, and you can probably buy some goods at the local farmers markets that are available. They'll come in with fresh canned things during the summer months, and this is what you stock in your cellar or your bug out kit, whatever you're going to do. If you have to hunker down, you're going to have food, you're going to have water, and you're going to have antibiotics and things of that nature. So start thinking about doing this so you're not left high and dry or begging someone for help if a problem occurs. So enough preaching at you about that. I don't have a joke for you today. I haven't had the time to find the new one, and I've had some, as I said, sad news about two friends dying back to back, and it's just a product of getting older. You start to lose people, and God bless them both, and I think we're not going to have a whole lot more to talk about today. I'm going to try and get maybe a couple of shorts out. Let me see how the day goes. We'll get you some, local stuff coming up pretty soon. And we're looking forward to tomorrow. You'll have another Kaiser Report tomorrow, and here comes my exit music. But God bless you all. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Please remember to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And for those of you that have subscribed, thank you very much. I can't do this without you. I do this for you. And it keeps me, aware of what is going on throughout the world, because I have to research what I tell you to make sure that it's valid. So please hit that like button, subscribe, and please give me your thoughts in the comment section, because I would love to know what you're thinking and if I need to talk more about things that you want to hear. So thank you, and with that, we're going to say, I'm on out of here. Bye-bye now.